Welcome and good evening. I want you to know something, that tonight you are the very first audience in the world that has seen this much of the film. And so it's a real exciting thing for all of us. I have not seen this, and I just can't wait. What's going to happen is that officially this will be shown in New York City on September 21st. And I don't know how many of you are planning on going to the premiere, but you should go. Jeff Hayes will tell you more about this, the gentleman who made this great film. But it's my understanding that the way we participate in the very beginning with this movie lets the other movies or theaters across America decide if they want to show it locally. So a big showing by us in New York is critical for the success of this film. Your ticket stub when you came in, the little ticket stub, has an opportunity for you to become a member of the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress. If you lost your ticket stub, we made sure we gave you one of these. This is a pledge sheet. And I want to tell you that we're right around 3,000 members that contribute monthly to the foundation. With this event that we have right here tonight, if you can fill out this little pledge sheet and make a commitment, and we don't care about the amount, you can do $5 a month if you want to. Can make all the difference in the world of how we help this profession grow. Believe it or not, the foundation has been around for 10 years. This, in 2013, will be our 10th anniversary, and I want to tell you two quick little things. The way this started 10 years ago is that there was a meeting at Cox's, and at that time there were numerous organizations that had their own public relations campaign. And some of you in the audience were at that meeting. And we prepared some documents that looked like the Declaration of Independence or the Bill of Rights. And we had all the whereas and all that sort of stuff that you do. But bottom line, the first document said that whatever you're doing in the way of public relations, we want you to quit. And believe it or not, they signed it. And these were all the leaders of the profession signed this. And then there was a second document that came out that looked like that said, we're going to give professional guidance because we're doctors and we don't know what we're doing on how to promote this profession, but we'll get a professional firm that does. And the key thing on that document was, we want your money, but not your opinion. And they signed that too. That was pretty good. So it's been 10 years, and our organization is blessed with some very good success that I want to share with you. When we met earlier this year, we've set a goal for the year 2012. And we said that we wanted to get 5 billion positive impressions about chiropractic in the media. 5 billion for the year. And as of June 30th, half of the year, we didn't do our 2.5 that we were supposed to do. You know, half of 5 is 2.5. We didn't do that. Instead of doing 2.5, we did 31. So we had 31 billion positive impressions for chiropractic on your behalf, which I think is pretty damn good. And you saw the quality of the PSAs and the things that you were watching before this started. That's what helped make this happen. And we have 2 people that I would like to recognize that wake up every day wanting to help us that have worked for us free, no cost, free for the past 5 years. And Joe and Laura Carabello with CPR Communications, would you stand and let us thank you wherever you are. Thank you. Thank you. They are the absolute best people in the world that donate their time to us. And we had a board meeting here, and I think we're just getting warmed up, baby, because they've got some great ideas that I think are going to push that $31 billion into the hundreds. And I'm very serious. So, how do we get these impressions? Through the USA Today, Sports Illustrated, the Wall Street Journal. All these entities help get us these impressions. But the thing that makes it all happen are a couple of key groups of people. Number one, our foundation staff with the leadership of Gary Cuneo, and if he's around, he should stand up because he's very important to all of us. And helping Gary, are you here? And all of our staff that helps. I've always said you're either in or you're out. You're either in something or you're out. You're not involved. If our track record of 31 billion positive messages for chiropractic in the first half of this year does not make you feel like something good is happening, I think you're in a coma. This is wonderful. And we really want you to be involved. There's some people we need to ask to stand up and get a round of applause, which are members of the Foundation for Chiropractic Board. And board members, would you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you. But we have to buy these things. And even though we buy remnant space, which means it's newspaper and advertising space on sale, sometimes up to 90% off, we still have to buy it. And I want to recognize people that have given money in a large, very meaningful, big way. And I want to urge the rest of you to join them. But the vendors that you buy products from have contributed a lot to this success. Foot Levelers, CPR Communications, which is Joe and Laura Calvello, Standard Process, Performance Health. The Florida Chiropractic Association is one of our best state supporters. Northwestern Health Sciences University, Chiropractic Economics, Life University, Palmer College of Chiropractic, Logan College, Parker University, Michigan Association of Chiropractors, Erconia, New York Chiropractic College, Chiropractic Association of Louisiana, Southern California University of Health Science, Chiro Touch, which I have learned has already given us $25,000, and at this meeting they're going to give us another $25,000. So, thank you, Chiro Touch. Multi-Radiance Medical, the American Chiropractic Association, the California Chiropractic Association, Script, PESCO, Dynamic Chiropractic, Chiro Health USA. You can see that the list is diverse. The message is universal. Positive press for chiropractic. That's all we want to do. That's all we want to accomplish. For those of you that are members, thank you. Any of these PSAs that you saw here, if you like those, we'll make them available to you for your office. If you like any of these press releases that a lot of the doctors frame and put in their office, you can do that too. The doctors tell me that when they put these in their office, the patients feel proud that they're there. It lets them know they're in the right place. So all of you members that are with us and are in, you can have that. Those of you that are not members, fill this out. Put it down. Make a commitment. Get in. Where else in the world is somebody going to yell, not whisper, but yell 31 billion times? That's over 1 billion impressions a week. Who else is going to do that? Let us. But now we want to introduce a very special man. Jeff Hayes started a relationship with myself and others in the profession as a business deal, as something that could maybe help chiropractic. He wanted to make a film. He wanted to make a difference. And he'll tell you why he wanted to do that. But that business relationship changed. And it went from one of business to one of friendship. And the reason it did that is that I could look into his eyes and see in his DNA and heart that he was one of us. And he wanted to tell our story and to make an impression upon the world about how special this profession is. And Jeff's created this movie, and he's a great man. He's very interesting. He's done a lot of films. Let's welcome Jeff Hayes, the creator of this film.
Thank you. So thank you for coming out. This has been an interesting, what was supposed to be an interesting couple of months. Mike Flynn, the first time I met him, bought my breakfast. And reminds me of this, amazingly enough, from time to time. We met for breakfast on 11/11/11, and he sent me a copy of the receipt. He saved it, thinking this might be an important day. And of all the dates, it was 11/11/11. And right before that, in the month before, I'd gone to see a new chiropractor for the last few months. I hadn't been to a chiropractor in years. And I read about a guy in a book, a New York Times best-selling book. They said if you ever get into Salt Lake, go see this chiropractor. And he went on about the stuff he was doing. So I thought, well, I live in Salt Lake. I'll go see him. I went to see this chiropractor. Sure enough, he was terrific. And over time, I got to know him, and he knew I was a filmmaker. He said, we got to do a film about the Wilt case. I'm like, what is the Wilt case? So he tells me a little bit about the story. Fascinating story. I didn't know if it was strong enough to make a film about. But as we got into it, I thought, this really could be a lead-in to a bigger film about the state of healthcare in America and how we lost control of it. So I went back a week later and told Craig Wheeler, I said, Craig, I decided I'm going to make your movie. And all of a sudden he took his glasses off and literally started to cry. And I was a little taken aback. I realized how deeply this affected him, how much this meant to him. I began to refer to him as he's not embittered, but he's beleaguered. This is a guy who's been fighting the battle for a long time. And starting there, the meeting Mike Flynn, Mike said, let me see if I can help you. I'll introduce you to 5 or 6 guys that are movers and shakers in the profession. If you'll come down to Dallas, we're having a meeting, the Congress of State Associations, and I'll get 5 or 6 guys in a room. So when Mike Flynn says, I'll get 5 or 6 guys in the room, we walk into the room and there's about 30 people in the room. And I'll never forget lots of questions. And somebody asked me, so, okay, well, Jeff, what are you going to do if Big Pharma comes along and wants to buy this film from you? And so I said, you know, well, at 2 or 3 million, I'm going to tell them no. At 15 million, I'm going to sell them a movie. And nobody laughed. Everybody, I'm like, guys, I'm kidding. But this was at the point where Ken describes, I said, you know, I have 2 business goals. I want to make a profit and I want to make an impact. And this was a business deal. And over the next few months, this evolved into something so much more than a business deal. I wanted an easy year this year. I needed an easy year this year. So I thought, I'll go make a film. It'll be something I do well. I can do it quickly with low stress. And instead, this turned out to be the Dr. Zhivago of healthcare film. We have filmed so much. I can't wait. Some of the ideas, some of the things we'll do with the footage that doesn't make the film that we will use to drive business for the film. Some of the things that we weren't able to put in the film will be seen millions of times more than what the film is, because we're going to put them out and let them spread virally on the internet to drive people to our site. So I can't wait for you to see the film. I can't wait for you to see all that we've done. I don't think I want to talk too much more about it. We'll show it to you after this is over. I'll come back up and answer any questions that you have. This is a 35-minute segment of the film. It's the first 35 minutes. And then we'll put to be continued. You'll notice that the color, sometimes when you see somebody in one shot, then their face changes color. It's not color corrected. The music that's in there is just drop-in music that our editors throw in. Some of it's horrible because we can't, until we finish the film and have picture lock, we don't give it to the composer to compose the music for. So that's all starting to happen now. Next week, we're actually filming one MD that had to leave and fly to Germany to operate on one of the former chancellors of Germany that is in the content from the film. We now have, it's roughly 50-50 between medical doctors and doctors of chiropractic in the film. You know, some of the questions have been asked, this doesn't bash medicine. We've got a lot of beleaguered medical doctors who are not happy with the way they're forced to practice medicine today. So I think that'll become apparent in the film. One last thing before I step down is the number one thing we can do to give this film a life is to have a spectacular showing in New York. So we've talked about people renting buses in New York, filling up the theaters. It's the Saturday showings. It's the opening. Literally every theater, small theater owner in the country looks and sees what the film's openings do in New York. And this is how they decide whether to book the film or not. So the easiest way to see this film in Lubbock, Texas is to buy a ticket in New York City on the opening weekend. So I urge you to let everybody you know in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, let's just draw a circle that extends down to, say, Florida, Oklahoma. You know, any place convenient to New York, please do that. I want you to know this film it's really coming together. It's not good enough. It doesn't tell your story well enough. It hints at your story. I hope you get a sense of the respect and affection that both Bobby, the director, and I have for this profession. Our goal is just to get chiropractic a seat at the table. It really is up to you to get this out there, and once people come into your office, to let them know the effect that you can have on their lives, because I don't think that we can do that in this time period. But with that, Nick, will you go ahead and start the film? Thank you.